Okay, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us today. If you're watching the recording, thanks for taking the time out of your day. And if you've joined us live, welcome. Got Dr. Curt with us and myself. My camera is not working at the moment. Looks like Dr. Curt's got his camera working, so that's good. And today we're going to be talking about the topic of minerals and SpectraMaxx and how those two fit together. So thanks for joining us, Curt. How are you today?
I'm doing really good. Thanks for having me on the call. And Katie, thanks for putting this together every week. I appreciate it.
No worries. Okay, great. So I guess we'll jump into it. It's just 2 past the hour. So we're live streaming at the moment into the Facebook groups and our YouTube channel. So you can watch the recording within the groups later on or on the YouTube channel. So before we get started, just start with a disclaimer. None of the information that we share today is designed to treat, prevent, or cure or diagnose any disease or illness. And if you are unwell, you should consult with your healthcare provider before taking any supplementation. So just throwing that out there, and we'll jump into the topic. So we want to talk about nutrient absorption, minerals, and SpectraMaxx today. But Curt, I just added this slide in to begin with, just to share a little bit of information about how nutrient absorption is affected. And these are 5 key factors. They're certainly not the only factors involved. And I've highlighted them here on the screen. So they are actually there's more than 5, obviously. Levels of good bacteria in the gut, mucoid plaque, cell integrity of the gut, chewing food, maintaining healthy stomach acid levels, and genetics. So Curt, do you want to talk through each of those?
You bet. Well, I think genetics is one thing that, we should mention first, because it's one of those things that you can't change it. Your genetics are what you're born with, and you're stuck with them, right? But the thing that we have to remember is that think of genetics like being a light switch. When I walk into this room, I hit the light switch, the light comes on, and that's just how it works. That's how your genetics work. But I can put different wattages light bulbs in. That'll change the amount of lumens that are in the room. I can remove one light bulb. I can put a lampshade on, different things like that. I can put a dimmer switch on, all those things. So I can affect the environment of the lights in this room. But I can't change, whether it goes on and off. That's just the light switch. And that's how your genetics are. So when you look at gut bacteria, right, you're changing the environment. So you have your genetics, you change the bacteria. The amount of mucoid plaque, what is that? Well, think of that like being like when you open up your oven and you haven't ever cleaned your oven, and it's just built up with a bunch of gunk in there and all of that. Well, that's what happens inside of your gut. You get all this buildup of this junk we call mucoid plaque in there, and it just lines inside, and it makes it so that you can't absorb things, you can't absorb moisture. It can cause all sorts of issues. And then we talk about cell integrity. Cell integrity is really the spaces between the cells, because your cell lining, the lining of the gut, is one cell layer thick. And then there's little spaces between the cells, and that's how your body absorbs nutrients and water out of the gut. And what creates the I guess kind of the gatekeeper that allows certain things to get through and certain things not to get through is actually the bacteria and the healthy microbiome. It's not just bacteria. There's actually healthy funguses and there's healthy yeast that grow in there that kind of make up this microbiome. And then like Katie has here, chewing your food properly. I see people so much in a hurry these days. They go in to eat and they don't chew their food. And what ends up happening is that you have all of this food that's going through. It's in big chunks as it goes down into your gut. And then you've got the different acids and the enzymes and the bacteria and all that have to break it down. And it may not do that. You may not have time to do that. And then, of course, the stomach acid, like Katie has written there, very, very important. So think of all those things as being the environment that surrounds the genetics. And so, like Katie said, that's 5 key factors right there.
Well, yeah, there's 6 if we add the genetics in. So good. Excellent. So this article, Curt, I added into the presentation on gut integrity in critical illness. I thought this was quite interesting. So basically, this article is essentially saying how important, I guess, gut health is and implicated in critical illness, that when somebody's really seriously unwell, they've found that they've got a leaky gut going on and problems with the lining of their digestive tract, issues with absorption, stuff like that. So that's probably no surprise to you, Curt.
Yeah. Well, when Sisel came out there with their collagen B3, one of the things that I looked at was, do they have the type of collagen in there that helps rebuild those tight gaps, those junctions between the cells? And so the collagen is really, really important that when you talk about leaky gut. A study came out of University of Michigan a number of years ago, and they were talking about cancer, and they said that the gut health was so important in determining if you're going to survive cancer, but not just surviving the cancer, if you're going to survive the treatment for the cancer. Because if your gut health was poor, your chances of, you had about a 50% chance of actually surviving the treatment that they gave you in traditional medicine. So,
yeah, important. So really important information. So today we're going to be talking about SpectraMaxx and the ingredients that can be found in this product, which includes minerals, vitamins, and a bunch of other ingredients, which we're going to talk about. So one of the main things that's an issue today is our soils are nutritionally depleted. There's thousands of man-made chemicals have found their way into the environment and food. So, what we think we're eating may not necessarily be that. And we definitely have a decrease in valuable nutrients compared to previous generations. And really, I always say homegrown food is the best. If you can grow any vegetables, fruits, and at home, you're going to get the best nutritional content out of that produce versus purchasing in the store. And really, because you can control the environment and it's straight from the garden to the plate. So Sisel have developed this product called SpectraMaxx, and it is a liquid nutritional. It's designed to maximize nutrients and to replenish those that have lost in, I guess, through poor eating, or if you're just busy, you're not eating enough food, or for any of the reasons that we've previously discussed. All of those factors impact your nutrient absorption. And so we definitely want to be addressing those by replenishing, filling those gaps where possible. Do you want to talk about how agricultural practices have affected nutrient?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet. Well, if you look back, how long have we been farming? And you think, all those plants, they absorb nutrients out of the soil to grow the plant, and then we eat the plant, then that's where we get our nutrients. And if the soil doesn't have the nutrient and we eat that plant, of course we're not going to get the nutrient because it's just not there. And so a long time ago, they started adding fertilizers to the soil, and the fertilizers were added to make it so that when we ate the plant, not only would the plant be healthier, but we would get healthier when we ate that plant. Well, then lo and behold, just like anything, they started looking at more of the profit margin, and they started adding mostly fertilizer, not necessarily to make the plant healthier for us, but they added nutrients to the soil like nitrogen to make the plant so it grows super big with big crops, big output of crop. But a number of studies came out here, I want to say in the last 10 years that I've read, and they actually said that even though the crop was huge, the amount of nutrients remained the same or actually got less. So again, like Katie said, that's why when we developed SpectraMaxx, one thing about SpectraMaxx was, how do we add these nutrients that we can get that we aren't getting from our soil, from our plants.
Yeah, 100%. And so this is a study that was from the USDA, so United States Department of Agriculture, food composition tables, and was actually sourced from a while ago, but it was showing nutrient changes from 1975 to 2010. 100 grams of raw edible portion of broccoli. Actually, it was this demonstration of this table that and the figures that are shown here that convinced me that we do in fact need supplementation, because prior to seeing this information, I was one of those people, this is going back a long time ago, thought that you really could get everything from your diet. And I didn't have an understanding of those factors that we previously went through on the slide before. And also I didn't understand how depleted the soils have actually become. And this is a factual information, it's not hearsay. So, it's just saying that clearly we have 75% fewer nutrients than we did, say, 50 years ago. And, it's there right in front of us. Yeah,
I was going to say, Katie, that Harvard Medical came out with a study. You and I talked about it a while back. I want to say it was in the last 5 years, and they said that it would be prudent for everybody to take a good source of vitamin minerals from a multi-type vitamin, like SpectraMaxx, because of the fact that, Harvard Medical and the USDA and all of these, they did recognize that people were missing key nutrients. But what's funny, the other day, Katie, another lady published her opinion, and she's actually at Harvard Medical as well, and she obviously didn't read the first study, and she said, no, if you just eat right, you should get everything from your diet.
Yeah, they love that go-to line. Yep. So,
well, and I agree with that. If you just ate right, you sure would. You'd get it. But which one of us eats 100% healthy?
Yeah, but it's not just that. Your genetics, though, if you've got some genetic factors in there or any of those other things that we presented on the first slide, even if you're eating a perfect diet, if you have some of those issues going on, that can definitely impede your vitamin and mineral absorption.
Yes, it can. Yeah.
Yeah. So SpectraMaxx has a full vitamin B complex in there. It's got 400 UI of vitamin D, and it's basically an antioxidant trace mineral vitamin formulation. It has also in there fulvic acid. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Dr. Curt?
You bet. Well, fulvic acid, really, really important. I learned about it about 15 years ago. It's considered a miracle molecule is what they call it, one of the first miracle molecules that they identified. And the reason they call it that is because not only does it help get nutrients in, but when it comes back out of the cell, so think of it like kind of like grabbing the nutrient and pulling it into the cell. But then once it's released the nutrient into the cell, then it grabs the toxins and it pulls them back out. So it's kind of a dual function type of a molecule. But just to kind of give you an idea, if you look outside and you see a tree growing or you see grass growing out in your yard, do you ever wonder, how does that plant actually grab the minerals out of the soil? How does it grab it out of a gravel form? Let's think of it like gravel form. How does it grab it out of the soil in gravel form and turn it into a liquid and absorb it through the roots up into the tree to build the tree or to build the grass or the corn or whatever it happens to be? And the answer to that is fulvic acid. Fulvic acid helps those plants grow the nutrients. And then once it gets into your body, then it takes those minerals from the plant or the supplement, and it helps it get it into the cell.
Yeah, fantastic. So what would you say is a point of difference with the SpectraMaxx compared to other products that people can buy, from their local store? People say, oh, well, I can get a vitamin mineral supplement anywhere. You
bet. I hear that all the time. People say, they can pick something up cheaper. They can go to their store, they can get their multivitamin. It says it's a minerals and full spectrum, blah, 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 blah. The thing about it is take a look at that. How many of your multivitamins, your over-the-counter vitamins, how many of them have even 20 different types of minerals? Very few. And then you look at the specialized ones, the ones that you buy at your doctor's office or the ones you buy at a pharmacy. Again, look, how many trace essential minerals are found in those vitamins? And again, you're going to find, probably at the very best, you're going to find 40 or 50. And our body needs 74 different trace essential minerals. And what does that mean? Essential means that you need them. You have to get them from your diet. You have to get them from somewhere external to the body. You can't make them. They have to come from your food. Trace means you don't need very much. So you have 74 minerals that you have to get from outside your body, and sometimes it's not very much. And then on top of that, with SpectraMaxx, we add 40 antioxidants, really powerful antioxidants. And people say, well, why do you need 40? I already take vitamin C. I already take glutathione. I already take this. I already take that. And they go, well, why do I need to get 40? Well, the answer is if you understand the whole process of the reduction, the redox reaction, how do you reduce a free radical down to where it's a safe and something where it's not going to harm your body, where it's not going to cause different kinds of carcinogens and things like that, is that you have to reduce it down sometimes up to 40 times. And so if you got one antioxidant, it's only going to reduce it once. And you can't just say, well, I'll just take more vitamin C, because vitamin C will only reduce that particular free radical. And then you have to have something else. So you have to have vitamin C combined with selenium, combined with glutathione, combined with this, combined with that, in order to get it work. And that's, again, where the 40 powerful antioxidants all work together.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, so definitely a great product. And if you are familiar with Tom Mauer's previous company, they had some products in there, cascading Revinol. They also had Maximol Solutions, and Ian, what was the other one? The mineral drink. If you're on the call, do you want to just chime in for a second?
Sorry, I can't remember that one. It was a mineral liquid.
Mineral drink. Yeah, it'll come back to me. Feroxin. There we go.
That's it. Yeah. Good on you.
Okay, good. Yeah, so those were the 4 products that were made in his previous company. They would really be all combined into this one product now. So you've got your antioxidants, and Dr. Kurt's just discussed the cascading aspect of that. And you've got your minerals, which was the Feroxin, and the Maximol Solution, which also was a mineral vitamin drink as well. So really you're looking at combining those 4 into one. So technology is really advanced. As time goes on, we get better, or Sisel get better, and so do other companies obviously as well, at developing formulations and learning more about how they affect and impact the body. So this is definitely a step up from what was known in the past. So if you are familiar with those products, this would definitely be a go-to product for you. We've got a short video here. It goes for about 2 minutes, and let me just share this of Tom Jr. talking.
When it comes to bioavailability, I'm as interested in that as I am with the formulation itself and the ingredient. It doesn't really matter if you have a mountain of ingredients if your body can't utilize this. And the most common example that I've used with people over the years are oyster and clam shells. What importance do they have in our lives when they're ground up and put into calcium supplements versus wholesome calcium that comes from milk, which for obviously hundreds of thousands of years has been engineered to be assimilated into our body? This is very important. If you've ever seen a picture of a tree growing out of the side of a rock, a cliff, how does that tree make that rock bioavailable? By secreting fulvic acid. Fulvic acid plays a crucial role in the bioavailability of these natural plant extracts. I'm looking to add the cofactors that make that bioavailable to you. And so SpectraMaxx is highly absorbable and bioavailable because of the fulvic acid that is added to that formulation. The farmer is paid on what you see and how much it weighs. He's not paid on the trace mineral content or the nutrient value of that product. We even know that in 1960, the wheat that came out then compared to the wheat right now is 28% deficient in minerals. How do we get around that problem? We need to include back into our diet what is missing. Now, when we talk about Encompass 360, we're talking about many different types of vitamins. And these are essential to the processes and mechanisms that are occurring in our body every day. Many of these are essential in the fact we only get them from our diet. Some of these vitamins are antioxidants. So if we talk about the two, we're talking high antioxidants in SpectraMaxx, lower antioxidant levels in Encompass 360. We talk about vitamins, we actually have a shift. So they work hand in hand with each other. There is overlap, but together there's real synergy in this.
Yeah, so that is a great overview. What do you think of that, Curt?
You bet. Just repeating a lot of the stuff that I said, or I was repeating a lot of stuff that he said.
Yeah. Okay, great. So we've got 2 testimonials here I wanted to share. So let me just read this out. Wanted to share with you my first taste of SpectraMaxx and its effect. Sunday night, I felt pretty bad, was coughing and feeling out of breath. Felt exhausted on waking up this morning and only got out of bed at 12:30. A knock on the door after I woke up and his SpectraMaxx arrived. I had some cereal and then 10 mils of SpectraMaxx as a starting dose. And after 15 to 20 minutes, I started to feel a bit better. My energy levels increased and I was able to go for a swim in the pool in the afternoon. My mood improved. Is it a coincidence? I don't think so. I definitely feel SpectraMaxx assisted me in my recovery, and I'm looking forward to seeing how I go over the next, after a week, a few weeks, and in a month, taking it on a daily basis. So that was from Tom, and that was shared with me a little while ago. He has a condition called sarcoidosis, and so that has had a big impact for him. So also Jack Daniel, he was taking the SpectraMaxx, and this person has shared their testimonial. I've got a photo in the next slide, but they were actually using the triangle of life. So they're combining the SpectraMaxx with the Fucoidan and the Eternity together, and noticed a big difference. And here's the before and after photo. So it was a young girl and her skin. So look at that, Curt. Have you seen this testimonial?
Wow.
So you want to share with people listening why that would be? What do you think as from health professional, from your experience, why it would have that impact on her skin?
Well, I mean, I think the main thing to look at, she looks pretty young. I'm going to guess, maybe a later teenager or early 20s, probably, right?
Yeah.
And so there's probably a lot of different things as far as hormonal levels and things like that are going on. But, and a lot of teenagers don't eat right. They don't get the nutrients that they need. So what happens is that the body will use whatever it can. It's pretty adaptive. It'll use whatever it can to try and build itself, because it wants to, the body wants to stay alive. And so what it'll do is use different things, but it creates toxins, and the body tries to get rid of it. And your skin is a huge filter, so it starts to filter it out. Well, you start adding good nutrients, all of a sudden you don't have all those toxin levels. And obviously you can see here, I don't know how long period of time this was, but look at how clear her skin started to get. And so it helped to balance out the hormones, and it helped to detox the body. I would say a combination of both.
Fantastic. What great result. So yeah, that's sort of it for our presentation today. So if you'd like any further information on SpectraMaxx or any of the Sisel products, the Triangle of Life, contact the person who shared this presentation with you. Curt, do you want to add anything before closing out?
I just really want to say, Katie, Ian, Michael, thanks for always being here every week and adding to the presentation and helping out. It's people that come back week after week and share the stories that get people to understand, get other people to know, because we can sit here and we can know all this stuff, but it doesn't help the world if we don't share it with everybody else. So those of you who are listening, share it with other people, let them know.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us today. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.